Sandip Agarwal, Fund Manager, Solio Investment Managers. Hi, good afternoon. So what is your sense of market now? Which theme will play out? We have seen the consumption themes already playing out in market. IT is something which is on a drag consistently, and it is not just about the news which has come right now, but the whole year the sector has underperformed. So what is your sense of market? Will the consolidation phase continue more than anticipated?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, and thanks for having me on the show. So, we have very clear strategy which we have been working on for last 2, 3 years, and with God's grace, it has done phenomenally well for us. We believe that India is a game where 140 crore population is there, and that's the reason if you see for a couple of decades the FMCG did extremely well because there was the automatic population growth, and that growth was leading to volume growth and some pricing improvement, and the stocks were doing phenomenally well. I think this has started going down in last few years because our population growth rate has fallen from 1.5% to now 0.84% in last 2 decades. That has been the fall, and even the fertility rate is below now the replacement rate. And because of that, we have lost love for FMCG. In last 2 years, we are not there in FMCG. Now we are trying to play what could be the next game with this population, huge population benefit and the demographic benefit which we already have. So we have moved very aggressively towards platforms, whether it is in the financial intermediary space or it is in the delivery space, logistics space. So we believe that platforms are the very, very good play to play the strength of the country. And we honestly see the big techs coming out of the platform space, same way what has happened in the US in last 30, 35, 40 years. And we are ultra positive to play every theme through platforms and also the capex theme. So these are two basic themes which we are playing.
All right, so the themes on the radar and the basic ones. But then where do you see re-rating and de-rating in the market? Sandip, hi, good afternoon. Mansi, this side first of all. And also having said, so the next big trigger will be the earnings season which we will witness. So how do you see the earnings season panning out this quarter?
So I think, we have already underperformed in a big way the emerging markets in last 1 year. And because of that, and that is primarily because of multiple factors, uncertainty at the global level. And also, the earnings have not come in last 2, 3 quarters. But I believe that, this is the quarter where you will start seeing bottoming of the earnings and much stronger commentary going forward for the outlook side. And that is the reason we believe that, markets, despite all these problems which we are facing on the global front, I think from this quarter earnings on, we will see markets again starting to move up. And we are very, very constructive on the market going forward. I think we have gone through the pain of correction, time correction and absolute correction. Both we have massively underperformed most of the emerging market. And I think that with earnings recovering back, we will see that reversing slowly.
Right. Request you to please stay with us because an important news update is coming in, and you can see that shipping sector stocks in focus, especially SCI, up more than 1%. And why so? Because cabinet meeting is underway, and cabinet is likely to approve 3 schemes for the sector with the financial assistance of more than 65,000 crore. My colleague Prakash is joining with more details on this story.
It's a big day for shipping sector as Union Cabinet likely to approve 3 flagship schemes to develop an entire ecosystem where shipbuilding, infrastructure, along with some financial supports that will be provided to incentivize overall ecosystem in the shipping sector. Sources are indicating that the schemes such as Maritime Development Fund, Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Policy, along with shipbuilding cluster, likely to get cabinet nod, and financial assistance of approximately 65,000 crore to 70,000 crore may be granted. Along with that, Expenditure Finance Committee has already approved financial assistance for these schemes, and you are aware that the Finance Minister has already announced this scheme in the last budget, and now process has been initiated to give final approval to these schemes. The Prime Minister himself announced this scheme a few days ago, and now government is ready with the final proposal that will be put up before the Union Cabinet for its approval. A very significant development coming in, where the government is well set to provide financial assistance for shipbuilding, developing infrastructure, and develop entire ecosystem. A very significant development coming in.
So three shipping schemes to be approved, a very significant development. And Sandip, since you were listening to this entire development in shipbuilding space for that matter, Shipping Corporation of India at present, if you see, the stock is also performing positively in trade, and this news in itself is positive for the entire space. What's your take on the same?
No, so shipping industry has long been overlooked by the investors, and people have not been willing to invest because of two reasons. One, the final derivative, which is the freight rates, they are very, very volatile and dependent on external factors. And secondly, this is a very high capex consuming industry. And if you see, for example, the vessel rates, quickly double, triple, and then they come down also very quickly along with freight rates. So and when you are committing to the asset, it is for 20 years, 30 years. And secondly, you are generally buying a second-hand asset because the new ones are insanely expensive. So I think, there has been lack of interest because of that. But with the government's focus, and government is rightfully doing so, if you see a few days back, Prime Minister has mentioned that 6 lakh crore rupees we are paying in terms of freight, which is itself very, very big business. And if we invest from domestically, it can be a big industry. So I think a superb, initiative by the government, and also this can be really, really a big industry going forward. And the amount of money which we are already selling out for freights, that is itself so big. So one, it can come down. Secondly, it can create a lot of opportunity for the indigenous industry. So we see this as a very big positive.
That's quite an insightful view coming from you, and Sandeep, requesting you to still wait because there's